They lied to you. They told you strength was about how much you could lift, how fast you could run, how big your chest is, or how cut your abs are. But here's the truth. The real war is mental, not physical. It's in your head, it's in your discipline, it's in how long you can keep going when your feelings scream stop. People think enemies are out there, haters, competitors, toxic people, but your first and most dangerous enemy lives in your mind. It whispers, sleep in. It says you've done enough. It tells you you're tired, take a break. That voice is subtle but lethal. It doesn't stab you. It seduces you, and that's what makes it dangerous. Because while you're looking for obvious attacks, the real sabotage is internal. Silent, slow, consistent. You don't lose because someone beat you. You lose because you believe the voice that said you couldn't win. Most people are already defeated before they even start, not because they're not talented, not because they lack resources, but because mentally they're soft, they fold at pressure, they break under routine. Their emotions rule them. Their mind is their master instead of their weapon. Mental warfare isn't glamorous. It's not about inspirational quotes and mood boards. It's about waking up and doing what has to be done, whether you feel like it or not. It's about locking in on your goals with tunnel vision and making sacrifices while others are out chasing cheap highs. It's about staying calm in chaos and unshaken in doubt. It's about mastering your reactions, controlling your impulses, and crushing the weak inner voice begging you to quit. Discipline isn't natural, it's forged, and forging anything requires heat, pressure, pain, but you either suffer the pain of growth or you suffer the pain of regret. You can't avoid the fight, you can't skip the war. So you either fight to win or you surrender to mediocrity, and mediocrity is worse than failure. It's a slow death in disguise. This mental war shows up everywhere, in the gym when it burns, in business when it's boring, in relationships when it's easier to run, in silence when you're alone with your thoughts. This war doesn't stop. It evolves, and the second you stop sharpening your mind, the enemy gets in, not with guns, not with fists, with habits. With comfort, with distractions that pull your eyes off your mission. The winners aren't superhuman. They just chose to master their minds instead of being mastered by them. They feel fear too. They feel doubt. But they move anyway. That's the difference. It's not what they feel. It's what they do in spite of what they feel. That's what separates the elite from the average. That's what makes you dangerous. Not your muscles, not your followers, but your unbreakable mental state. Distraction isn't harmless. It's not entertainment. It's not just a little break. It's a weapon, and not just any weapon, the most effective one ever created, not designed to destroy you in an instant, but to bleed you out slowly. Quietly. It doesn't come with noise. It doesn't come with alarms. It comes in the form of dopamine, convenience, and comfort. And before you even realize it, it's taken full control of your time, your mind, and your future. Understand this. The world doesn't need to imprison you anymore. They don't need chains. They don't need fences. They just need your attention. If they control your attention, they control your decisions. If they control your decisions, they control your life. That's the game, and most people are already losing. You think the endless scroll, the non-stop notifications, the trending distractions are just modern conveniences. No, they're engineered traps, built to hijack your focus, drain your energy, and keep you sedated while your potential rots in the background. Every time you check your phone for no reason, every time you click next episode, every time you engage in useless drama, you're getting played. Someone is profiting off your attention, and it's not you. While you're watching other people live their lives, who's building yours? While you're chasing gossip and controversy, who's chasing your goals? This is how they win. They keep you entertained so you don't evolve. They feed you mindless stimulation so you never seek power, because a distracted mind doesn't rebel. A distracted man doesn't build. He doesn't think, he just consumes. You don't need more motivation. You need clarity. Clarity on how much time you've already wasted. Clarity on who benefits when you stay distracted. Clarity on what you're not doing while you're tuned into everything that doesn't matter. That's what distraction steals. Your clarity, your control, your self-respect. Focus is the rarest currency now. Everyone's broke because they've spent it on nonsense. But if you learn how to lock in, if you learn how to train your mind to ignore the noise and stay locked on your mission, you instantly rise above 99% of people, because the enemy isn't the one screaming in your face. It's the one whispering, just one more scroll, or it's not that serious, or you can start tomorrow. That voice is poison. It sounds harmless. It sounds friendly, but it's surgical in how it cuts down your drive and derails your momentum. And once you give in, it doesn't stop. 1 hour becomes a day. 1 day becomes a week. Before long, the dreams you said were non-negotiable become old stories you tell yourself when no one's listening. You don't get robbed all at once. You get distracted piece by piece until there's nothing left worth taking. This is how control works now, not through force, but through subtle addiction, through tiny decisions. Through stolen minutes that never come back, people act like time is unlimited, like it's some casual resource that'll always be there. It won't. Every second you spend, you're never getting back. Time is not just valuable, it's your most powerful currency. And once it's gone for good. You can lose money and make more. You can lose strength and rebuild it. But when you waste time, that chapter of your life is closed forever. The most dangerous illusion people live under is the idea that they have time to waste. That there's always next year, next month, next Monday, but every delay is a lie. Every second wasted is a piece of your future sold off to nothingness. You think you're relaxing. You think you're taking it easy. But what you're actually doing is burning opportunities you haven't even earned yet. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you treated time like you treat money? If every moment had value attached to it, would you be spending hours arguing with people online? Would you be watching shows that do nothing for your growth? Would you be gossiping, complaining, or playing games while your goals collect dust? Look at the people who run the world, the ones building empires, moving markets, setting the pace. They don't let people waste their time. Their calendars are weapons. Their schedules are locked. Why? Because they understand this simple truth. Time is leverage, it's power, it's the fuel for results. You use it right, you build an empire, you waste it, you become a spectator. Most people aren't broke financially. They're broke mentally because they treat time like trash. They give it away for free to people who don't respect it. They waste it on drama that doesn't serve them. They spend hours pleasing everyone but themselves, and then they wonder why they're stuck, why nothing's moving. It's because their most valuable asset is being thrown around like it's worthless. If you want to elevate, you have to audit your time like a ruthless investor. Every hour you spend should have a return. That return might be financial, physical, emotional, or spiritual, but it better be real. Mindless time is death in disguise. It looks harmless, it feels easy, but it leaves you empty, and eventually it leaves you behind. When you value your time, you start cutting out nonsense fast. You start saying no without guilt. You stop entertaining clowns and start building kingdoms. You stop living reactive and start living intentional. Every move becomes calculated. Every day starts to matter. You no longer chase distractions because you're too focused on domination. You don't need more hours in the day. You need to treat the hours you already have like they matter, because they do. Every second you protect compounds. Every day you lock in gets you closer. Not because you worked harder, but because you finally started treating time like the rare, non-renewable hive. Al, you asset it as you've been programmed to chase entertainment like it's a reward. They flood you with it. Music, gossip, reality shows, mindless social media, viral drama, endless games. It's everywhere, on every screen, every platform, every minute of the day, and it's not an accident. It's not for your enjoyment, it's for your distraction, because they want you entertained, not educated. An entertained mind laughs, an educated mind questions. One is harmless, the other is dangerous. Look around who controls the narrative, who profits from your ignorance. It's not the people telling you to read, learn, build, and discipline yourself. It's the ones feeding you comfort, the ones who sell you cheap dopamine hits so you never look deeper. They don't care about your success. They care about your attention, and the more they keep you entertained, the less likely you are to rise. Education isn't just school, it's awareness. It's understanding the world. It's reading the patterns, the system, the agenda. They don't want that. They don't want thinkers. They want consumers. They want you numb, passive, amused, too distracted to realize how much of your life is being wasted in exchange for nothing. Every second you spend being entertained is a second you're not building, not learning, not improving. They don't fear your muscle. They don't fear your looks. They fear your mind. Once it wakes up, once you start to see behind the curtain, once you understand that your attention is a battlefield, the moment you stop blindly consuming and start consciously educating yourself, the system loses power over you because now you're not easily influenced. You're not controlled by trends. You stop moving with the herd and start thinking for yourself. Why do you think books are boring to most people, but hours of scrolling are effortless? Why is school a chore, but reality TV is addictive? Why do people know celebrity birthdays, but not their own country's laws? It's engineered that way. They don't want self-reliant, disciplined individuals. They want obedient spectators. They want you to chase jokes, memes, and clickbait, so you never chase mastery, purpose, or self-respect. When you're educated, you become aware of your potential, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's when things change. That's when you stop playing their game, but they can't have that, so they flood your world with noise. They make ignorance cool. They mock seriousness. They celebrate mediocrity and call it relatable. They make being smart feel out of place. They want you laughing at nothing while your life slips through your fingers. Entertainment is the drug. Education is the antidote, but the antidote takes effort. It takes commitment, and most people won't do it, not because they can't, but because they've been conditioned not to care. The system isn't broken. It works exactly as intended. The question is, do you, or are you just another product of a world designed to keep you mentally broke, emotionally weak, and spiritually empty so long as you're smiling while staying stuck certainly? Here's a 500-word expansion of discipline is the real flex, delivered in a relentless, commanding tone. You want to know what real strength looks like? It's not in the car you drive, the watch on your wrist, or how loud you talk when eyes are on you. Discipline is the real flex, not just because it's rare, but because it's earned. Anyone can flash cash, throw on a filter, or post a highlight reel, but discipline is silent. It's built in the dark. It doesn't ask for attention. It commands respect. People love to flex results. They show the six-pack, the money, the lifestyle. But none of that means anything without the process behind it. And the process is brutal. It's not glamorous. It's repetition. It's consistency when motivation dies. It's getting up early when you don't feel like it. It's doing the reps when nobody is watching. That's what separates men from boys, because anyone can look the part once. Discipline is what makes you show up every time. Weak people chase motivation. Disciplined people create systems. They don't wait for the perfect mood. They don't rely on hype. They just execute. every single day. Whether they feel amazing or miserable, they move forward. That's power. That's the kind of control over yourself that can't be bought, faked, or outsourced. You see, discipline is freedom. That's the paradox. People think rules, structure, and routine are restrictive. No, they're liberating. When you're disciplined, you're not a slave to emotion. You're not run by temptation. You don't bend when life applies pressure. You bend it, you bend reality to your will, not the other way around. The undisciplined chase pleasure, the disciplined chase purpose. That's why they win. While others are out wasting time on distractions, comforts, and excuses, the disciplined are stacking wins. Quietly, without applause, because they don't need validation. They're too busy becoming undeniable. Discipline means you choose long-term gain over short-term relief. It means you sacrifice now so you can dominate later. It's not sexy, but it's savage. Discipline is what keeps your goals alive when motivation is dead. Motivation is loud but short-lived. Discipline is quiet but relentless. When you master it, you become dangerous. Because now, your actions aren't dependent on how you feel. They're dictated by your mission, your schedule, your standard. That level of control over your life, that's the real flex. Not talking about what you'll do, doing it. Without fail, and here's the thing, everyone wants the rewards, but almost no one is willing to pay the cost. They want the body, but not the early mornings. They want the wealth, but not the grind. They want the mindset, but not the mental battles that come with it. Discipline doesn't care about what you want. It only responds to what you do. That's why it's rare. That's why it's powerful. Anyone can talk. Anyone can look the part for a day, but day after day, year after year, only the disciplined survive. Only the disciplined rise because they've made themselves unshakable. They don't just show up when it's easy. They show up when it's hell, and they do it without hesitation. Focus isn't optional. It's the foundation of everything that matters. If you can't control your attention, you'll never control your results. You can have all the ambition in the world, but if you're distracted every 5 minutes, it means nothing. You have to stay ruthless with your focus. Ruthless like a soldier in battles. Zero hesitation, no compromise, eyes forward, target locked. People talk about goals like they're magic. They think writing it down is enough. It's not. Goals mean nothing without focus. And focus isn't just about what you look at. It's about what you ignore. It's about cutting the noise, shutting the doors, and going all in on what actually moves the needle. If it doesn't build you, grow you, or move you toward your mission, it's a liability and it needs to go. Distractions don't always look like problems. Sometimes they show up as opportunities, invitations, conversations. Let's hang out. Just 5 minutes. It won't hurt. But every time you say yes to one of those things, you say no to your discipline. You say no to your momentum. The people who win, they're savages about this. They don't entertain anything that slows them down, no matter how innocent it looks. That's why they rise while others stay stuck. Focus isn't passive. You don't get it by default. You fight for it. You protect it like it's your last breath, because it is. Every distraction you fall into is a theft of your time, energy, and legacy. The second you break your rhythm, you lose power, you lose speed. You let the world drag you back to average. Being ruthless means you don't apologize for choosing your path. It means you don't water down your drive to make others comfortable. If they don't understand your obsession, that's fine. Let them misunderstand. Let them mock the grind. Let them laugh. You're not here to be liked. You're here to dominate, and domination requires isolation. It requires saying no 100 times for every yes that counts. There's no shortcut to greatness. There's no magic hack. There's just the grind, the silence, and the sacrifice. While everyone else is busy reacting, you're building. While they're chasing everything, you're locking in on one thing. That's how you separate. That's how you hit levels they only dream about, not because you're better, but because you're more focused, more deliberate, more ruthless about your time and energy. You need to kill the habit of drifting, kill the habit of checking everything, kill the addiction to notifications, gossip, and empty conversations. You have to become the kind of person who can sit with a goal and hammer it relentlessly, day in, day out, until it bends to your will. That's not balance, that's war, and the battlefield is your mind. If you can control your focus, everything else bends to you. But if you can't, you'll forever be at the mercy of people who can. Focus is what builds empires, crafts killers, and turns the ordinary into the unstoppable.